everybody. Welcome to One Drink, a podcast where we talk about one topic for one drink. I'm Matthew.
And I'm Oliver.
I'm Ghost Rider, B.A.C.A Rochester. I'm the state SAA and Rochester VP.
Nice.
Butch. I'm secretary of the Rochester chapter of Bikers Against Child Abuse.
Nice. And I love these shows because it is another organization here in Rochester that does a fantastic deed. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Super excited to have you guys on the show today, for sure.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So let's just get right into it, right?
Absolutely.
What is Bikers Against Child Abuse organization? What is it all about?
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, give us the overview.
Yeah.
Well, I typically when I'm talking to people about it, we are an international nonprofit organization. We are in 45 states currently, 18 countries, have about 230 chapters here in the States. We have one narrow mission: to empower abused children not to live in fear.
Yeah.
Make them feel accepted, make them feel like they're part of our family, give them some self-confidence back, and give them the tools to take their childhood back.
You know, when Matt told me that you guys had reached out and that he talked to you guys about potentially coming on the show, I was sort of familiar. I knew of you guys,
Okay.
And sort of what everything was, and then I did a little research online, and it hit me so much more the work that you guys do for children, because when I had first heard of it, I wasn't a dad yet. I have a 6-year-old girl, and as I was reading, some stories and, about some events and stuff like that, like, it hit me so much harder as a dad, just knowing that there's people out there that care so much about other people's kids, or about kids that have been left by their parents or mistreated, or, you know what I mean? It's just, I love that there's a lot of good father figures out there, because there's a lot of deadbeat dads in the world, you know what I mean? So, like, you guys going out and just being a positive presence in a child who's had a difficult time is just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And, just knowing that they have someone that's there for them is so huge for their mental health and their, their growth and their development and everything like that. I think it's...
Yeah.
We just
I think
had
it's
that
incredible.
with foster family, and the mother said, me and Butch are primaries for the children, that how great it was that they had male role models, because they've never had a good male role model their whole life. And it was really the first time that we'd heard that said and really took that into consideration, because we just never thought about it. We picked primaries by interest of the child and stuff like that.
Got it.
But never how important it was for the male role models. So
Yeah.
it's funny you bring that up, because it was the first time that we've ever thought of that.
That's what, like, hit me initially, is that, man, these guys have 100 dads now. You know what I mean? Or, maybe not, to that extent, but you know what I'm saying? They now have a positive male figure in their life that wants to be a part of their life. You know what I mean? Like, it's so huge, because unfortunately in the world, there's not a lot of invested dads. There's a lot of crummy dads out there, and there's just a lot of crummy people out there in general. So, you know what I mean? It's nice to know that there's a community that's invested in being that for kids who don't
It's
have
important to know that there are women in B.A.C.A too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And,
for sure.
So, it's for many, female children that are abused, they feel more comfortable having
definitely.
a woman as a primary.
Yep.
And then sometimes, like he said, it's kind of a good thing to go, listen, not all guys that are bald and have a goatee or whatever are scary people, because that has been like, what are you scared of? And sometimes they're like,
They're just guys.
Bald guys with goatees. Well, you got 4 guys in the chapter, they're bald with goatees, and you're like, uh-oh. And, we did have one, the child was abused by a grandfatherly figure, and we assigned one of our oldest members to him to show him that not all people that look like him are bad people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Just taking that negative association
Yeah.
and proving it wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or not. I shouldn't say proving it wrong, but just showing them that not every guy that looks like a grandpa is now going to be, somebody that they have to look out for.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
absolutely.
or watch out for.
We tell the kids they're part of the B.A.C.A family now. If you see someone with a back patch that says B.A.C.A, they're a safe person. Mm-hmm. And, we've had kids traveling. We've had people pull us over and say, hey, I'm a B.A.C.A kid, from a different state.
See, now that.
So cool.
They
That's
see it,
gotta
they
feel.
recognize
Yeah, that's a
so
great
good on
feeling
the
right there.
inside.
We've
Just
had strangers
in those
come up and
moments,
give us
you
a
know?
hug and kiss. What you did for my niece, was unbelievable. And
Yeah.
so we see it.
And I mean, so I'm just speaking Rochester. I know, nationally there's a lot of cases, but is there a lot of cases here in Rochester?
We don't talk numbers.
Oh, no.
Talk numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But there's, our area goes from Lake Ontario to the Pennsylvania border.
Oh, okay.
Nine counties.
Eight counties.
It's a big territory.
Yeah, we've got a lot of counties.
And, some of our other chapters have bigger areas. So
Right.
it's,
Yeah, depending.
we stay busy.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure.
Obviously, it'd be nice to say we're never going to be busy again, but it's never.
Yeah,
never
I
gonna
know.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the world that we live in is not conducive to that dream. But
Yeah.
it's nice that there's a group of individuals that's actively trying to mitigate a lot of the damage that gets done out there. So
And now, for your organization, is there like training? Is there like that goes along with like being part of the
Shitload.
organization?
Yes. Yeah. So actually, before you even start your training, you've got to come around for 3 months to our monthly meetings. And at that time, the board's going to pull you aside. We really got to check. We got to try to figure out what kind of person you are.
yeah.
You're allowed to come hang out with us at most events, but you're not allowed to be around the children yet.
Got it.
So after that 3 months, if we think that you're going to be a good fit, then you get a fingerprinted. So we're all federally background checked, and here in New York we recheck and re-fingerprint every 3 years.
Yeah. Nice.
And that's when you get your oval patch here, and this is the patch that allows you to do that. And then you start your training, which is usually about a year's worth of training. So
Nice.
you're in 13, 14 months before you're even eligible to wear the patch.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, obviously, it's it's good that you guys sort of have like that vetting process, just to make, especially
have it.
because you're working around
Yeah,
kids that have been through stuff, and the last thing that you want is to have somebody sort of ruin that, what all the work that you guys are going to
Yep.
put into. So it's, I mean, obviously, I knew that you guys had some type
Yeah,
of process.
and the training, it involves, the workings of B.A.C.A, and then as you get towards the later stages of training, that's kind of when you start getting into, being a good primary and how to talk with the children, kind of, how not to act with them, how to act with them. I mean,
So I'm
generally
assuming,
it's kind of common sense stuff,
right? But sometimes
to
you
make
gotta.
sure.
Common sense isn't always the most common
Not
thing in the world. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
you got to make sure everybody's aligned. So obviously there's there's men, women involved in the organization. Is there a big age range too within for you guys? Is it are there younger?
Younger people don't usually make it because time restraints. We've had college kids try when they're busy with college, or if you got young kids. It's very difficult to raise a family and be in B.A.C.A.
yeah.
We are very, very busy.
Yeah.
We've had, that happens a lot. People come in, they're supporters, and all of a sudden you got 4 or 5 weekends in a row, you're busy
Yeah.
with B.A.C.A, and their wife's saying, hey,
Right.
Yeah.
kids at home. didn't
You
sign
gotta
up
be
for that."
home.
Yeah.
No, I get that for sure. So tell us about some of the things that you do with the kids, like how that sort of works.
All right. So generally, our kids come from referrals. It could be from a referral from you. You
Yeah.
could refer a family to us.
Oh, so just the
You
average
could give,
person
You
can.
could you could
Oh,
give them our
okay.
trifolds. You give them one of our trifolds. Helpline numbers on the back.
Yeah.
And then they would call the helpline number, and we have a child liaison. He would answer the call. He has some things to ask them. We do have 3 pretty simple criteria. One, that the case is reported, whether it's to authorities, whether it's to a CAC, some sort of agency, it has to be reported somewhere. We're not going to chase stuff down. We don't want to be in the middle of custody battles and stuff like that. The child must be living in fear, which generally, most
in those
children
situations
have some sort of fear, however that manifests itself. And then thirdly, they cannot be living with the perpetrator. So either child needs to be removed from the situation or the perpetrator needs to be removed from the situation. So he's got some other questions, but then if that works out, we discuss it. The executive board discusses it, and we'll go do an initial visit, usually a few members of the board and the child liaison. And gives us a chance to meet the family, meet the kid. Yeah. One thing is, we ask the kid, do you want to be part of B.A.C.A? Mm-hmm. Do you want to be in our family? Mm-hmm. I know mom and dad called, or grandma and grandpa, but do you want to be here?
We've been turned down.
Yeah, and these kids, their choices have been taken from them. Their voice has been taken away from them. So we are trying to give it back immediately.
Right as you were saying that, in my mind, I was like, you're giving them control. You're giving them the voice, them the choice. And just in that is huge right off the get-go, because in those type of situations, that's all been taken from them. You know, so you guys immediately giving that back to them.
With a lot of different choices, too.
What a great, first step.
And choosing that, they get to choose their own road name.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we only know them by the road name. Yeah, we only call them by the road name.
I love that.
And they get to choose their back patch for their vest, which we can touch on in a little bit here. Mm-hmm. So it gives us a chance to meet them. Then we get to find out a little bit more about the kid and what their interests are, so that we can make a good choices with the primaries for them. Get them with two people that are going to work for them. Now, those primaries are a 24/7, 365 contact for that child.
Oh, nice.
Anytime, day or night. Pick up the phone. You want to text, you want to call. You're there give them a call, and we're going to answer that call.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my wife used to give me a lot of shit because I never had my phone on at night until I started B.A.C.A. And she's like, "Oh, what the hell?" And I was like, "You can't answer this call." So, too bad.
And what are you gonna what's she gonna say though? At the end of the day, this is a child that needs me. You know what I mean? End of argument.
So once if they decide they want to be part of our B.A.C.A family, then we schedule what we call level 1. That's the first time that they meet the entire chapter. That's when they're introduced to their two primaries. They get a few things. We bring them this bag of stuff. The first thing they get is their B.A.C.A bear. He's got a B.A.C.A shirt on.
Nice.
Everybody present signs the bear. Everybody hugs the bear. And we fill the bear with hugs and love and strength and courage. And anytime they need some of that, they just pick up that bear and use some of that. And if they ever feel like it's running a little low, they give us a call back and we'll come back out, fill it back up.
The bear goes to a lot of courts.
So they get that, and I touch real quick, so I will pull it out real quick. They do get their own cut. So they got their name patch there. They get a flag now. Support the B.A.C.A. Then they got 2 patches to choose from. So they got one with flames and one without.
Nice.
And then their lower rocker says, "I will not live in fear."
I love that.
So,
it's got to be so empowering for them, when they get that, and then to put it on, for the first time, you know what I mean? It's just, I can't even imagine for a young child, you know what I mean? What that feels like.
Yeah, and then we have a bunch of other stuff in here, too, for them. A lot of stuff just to let them know that, B.A.C.A's here for them. A lot of it's geared towards the nighttime. A lot of these kids have nightmares. They have night terrors, have trouble sleeping. Yeah. So, we're short on them now, but we have a night light that puts the B.A.C.A logo up. There's a pillowcase. So, a blanket, they can turn around and just see B.A.C.A around them all the time. We're here.
Yeah.
Just you guys don't forget. Anytime you need us, you can pick up that phone.
And it's got to be comforting too. Just for them to just feel safe all around.
Yeah, they wrap up in the blanket.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So then at the level 1, the rest of the time is theirs. We play a lot of kickball. We've made tie-dye shirts. We've made spells, which was an interesting one. We played just about every kind of sport there is to do. There's been times we've just hung out and drawn with sidewalk chalk. You know,
Tag a lot of areas.
yeah.
Yeah. Sidewalk chalk.
So, you know, whatever they want to do. And they can also go on a ride. We have a little ride team set up, and we can take them for a ride. And one of the last ones we did, I was giving the kid a ride, and we're on the second lap, or we went around the first lap, and he wanted to go again, and everybody else that didn't go on the rides clapping and screaming. He's like, "Oh, man, I can't believe everybody's out there making all that noise for me." Or like, "Well, that's your new family." He goes,
That's awesome.
"This is the most epic day of my life."
That's
And I was just like,
Right there. Just,
I was like, okay, hold on.
I was gonna say.
Let me take a breath for a minute
They're
here.
catching me off guard with that one.
There's a lot of moments like that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then the primaries are always doing follow-up visits with the kids. You know, forming that bond.
Yeah.
You know, letting them know that we're here for them all the
Yeah.
time. We got their back whenever they need it. So.
That's even in just that small explanation of, because I'm sure it just runs so much deeper than that, but even in that small explanation of, sort of like what you guys are and what you do for the kids, it's so much more than I anticipated it being, especially with, knowing that, they have, their 2 primaries numbers and they can call them, and those primaries are available for them 24/7, 365, like no matter what, middle of the night, have a bad dream, because like when my daughter has bad dreams, she just wants dad. You know what I mean? Like when she's scared of the shadow in her closet, I stay with her at night. You know what I mean? So like translating that to me now as a dad, like I was saying before, knowing that that child now has someone that they can call in the middle of the night, be it a mother figure or a father figure, and just that's so cool to me that, you know what I mean? That's
Abuse hits all over, though. I mean, it's not just the families where there's a single parent. Some of the best families in the world, the abuse happens.
yeah,
And so, there you got the good family, you got the parents, you got the advocates, and then you got us. It's a multi-pronged deal, because not everybody can be there
Right.
the whole time
Right.
for the child. Sometimes the parents got their own issues they're dealing with. How did I let
yeah.
this happen? So forth and so on. So they can only be there
yeah,
nowhere near as much as they think they can or want to be. Same thing with the advocates. It's not just us. It's a group effort.
yeah.
It takes the village to raise the idiot.
You know,
Not that kids.
No. I knew what you meant.
we're usually
No, it does take a
Yeah,
Us too, so don't
we're
worry.
just a bunch of dumb fucking bikers. That's all we are. But it takes a group effort.
Yeah.
To do it.
for sure.
You know, with us, we're a relational experience for them. We're never going to talk about their case with them. We're never going to talk about their abuse. When they
We don't
got
know
to
it.
go to
Yeah.
see therapists and whatever, at some point they're going to touch on how all that stuff. They don't ever have to worry about hearing with that.
Yep.
And if they bring it up to us, we kind of try to gently deflect away from it,
Yeah.
because I'm not a counselor.
Yeah.
I'm not a therapist. I don't
Right.
know shit.
Most of us aren't even fucking role models.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say that though. I mean, you're here putting the work in every single day.
Yeah.
That's what a role model is showing someone that if you show up every day and try, no matter, I had a boss that told me one time, he goes, I need you to give me your 100%. He goes, I don't expect your 100% to be the same as his 100%, to be the same as her 100%. If you're coming in every day and giving me your 100%, he goes, I'll never ask for anything more than that. And no one ever should. So you guys go in every single day and, self-professed, idiots, that's okay. You go in every day and give it everything you got. And that's really, I think, what you're showing them is that, people make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, he's not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but we're going to show up every day and give it our best for you. And then that's the confidence that they have, knowing that, you know what, man, Ghostwriter might get it wrong, but man, he's going to be here to try.
That's the biggest thing, is never to let them down.
Gotta be
Yeah.
here.
It's never an I, it's always a we.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're always 2 people with a child. So if we're going somewhere to meet a child, if we're going somewhere to court or something like that with a child for meetings, we always plan 3 people. Just in case something happens. Someone can get a flat tire, something could happen. That
True,
way
yeah.
there's always 2 of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 of us there.
Even go to a follow-up. You go to the bathroom before you go.
Yeah.
Because if it's just the 2 of us at a follow-up, neither one of us is ever left alone with a child.
Right.
So we're
Yep.
always looking out for the safety of our children, even within our own organization.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the one thing that I did see. I saw a clip of, like, I think meeting at the school or taking the kid to school. Is that something that you guys do? Or
We have done it. We took we had a child. She was a foster child, so she was in a new school.
Yeah.
And we went to court. And when we go to court, we take them on the bikes.
Yeah.
You know, they think the freaking president's coming to town when we roll in. And she had to go to school, so it's like, all right, yeah, we'll take you.
Yeah.
And she was on the back of my bike, and we head to the school. And I love sidewalks because there's never any cars there.
Right.
So we went right up the sidewalk, and the kids in that school were yelling out the window to her, saying, "Hey, is that your father?" And she's like, "No, this is my new family."
Yeah.
And she went from being the outcast of that school to being
so
the
cool.
coolest kid in that
So
school.
cool.
The principal came out and bitched at us, but, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
growing up.
Let her
used to
have
that.
her moment.
Right,
Come on.
right.
Come on, man. Like, you know what I mean?
And they were fine, but yeah, we rolled, 5 of us rolled right up on the sidewalk.
Ah, that's
in
so
front of
cool.
the kids.
Yeah.
And it was huge for her
Yeah.
to go from outcast to coolest kid,
Yeah.
just like that.
And that's, see, I got goosebumps.
I
thinking
know,
about
I
it
was just-
because
Yep.
it's such, you can see things on TV all the time, right? But when we have actual people that have done it here locally, it just is more, for me, it's just more heartfelt. It's just a way better feeling, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah,
And
you know,
it's great.
One thing too that I think is cool, which you know, I know it's not the point at all of the stuff, but it's like for people that misrepresent people that ride motorcycles or motorcycle clubs, like you know, I like when stereotypes are broken. You know,
Yeah.
so there's always this stereotype against people that ride motorcycles and you know, wear leather vests and you know, I just.
I didn't know there was a stereotype.
Oh, there's definitely. Well, I love that it's just not that.
Yeah,
though.
this is me.
You
This
know
is
what I mean?
I wear.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know, people just have negative connotations for everything. You know, and I love the. I just love
The way we
stereotypes
look
being
is why it works.
Yep.
You know, if we showed up in khakis and golf shirts,
Yeah.
Boring.
is that kid gonna feel? Is that kid gonna feel safe and protected? No.
And we never try to be intimidating. That's
Yeah.
the one thing we are not, is intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, if you guys are out there, you know, making spells and drawing with sidewalk chalk, you know what I mean? You're definitely not.
I do carry the spells with me.
We did cheerleading once.
I love that.
We had a girl, and she was a cheerleader, and she had us out there doing the B.A.C.A. I can't.
Right
back.
Yes.
B.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, she had us do a freaking pyramid. You know.
Yep.
And we're not the smallest of guys out there doing a pyramid. The poor guys on the bottom. I think they're still there. And yeah, so I mean, you do whatever the kid wants.
Yeah.
We have one guy, I'm gonna throw him under the bus, Tiger, our president. He loves the Macarena. He calls it the Macarena.
The Macarena. I love that.
If you drive by a park somewhere and there's a bunch of bikers out there and they're
When they're doing the
I'm
Macarena.
security. I'm not allowed to do it. I got to be security.
Yeah.
But if you see that,
That's
it's not the remake of the Village People. It's B.A.C.A out there doing whatever
that.
it takes to entertain.
I love that.
Entertain the kid.
I'd stop and join in on that too.
I
Man,
personally have never done it, so I'm happy to say.
it's so funny that you brought that up. That like doing the Macarena, you know, was a thing because my daughter literally just learned it. I'm not kidding. Like 2 weeks ago, so she's been doing it like every day, like 1,000 times. You know what I mean? So her and I, you know, we've been doing it, and it's I love that.
And now instead of Macarena, you're going to hear
a Macarena.
Macarena.
I know. I love it. I love it. I love that so much.
That's awesome.
It's, whatever it takes to put a smile on their face and,
Yeah,
and make them happy.
for sure.
Yeah, and it seems like, I mean, I could see how you guys are going to be constantly busy because for me, I didn't know that just anyone could, start it up or call or, make a case or however it may be. I thought it was just through legal, like cops and all that or courts and stuff like that.
So
but-
you would really be the referral source.
Yeah.
So the parent or a legal guardian needs
Yeah.
to call.
Yeah.
Foster homes, same thing.
Yeah.
We work with foster kids all the time too. So they would actually have to make the phone call.
Yeah. So how can people donate?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How do they do that?
You can do it online through BACAworld.org, or you could put a check into the mail.
Oh, nice.
Address on the back of this, if you want me to give it to you. I give it to you now. It's B.A.C.A, Rochester, P.O. Box 60773, Rochester, New York, 14606. And our helpline number is 585-705-5481.
Oh, yeah.
And we will for sure have all of that information in the description down below.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
And that's that's the one thing I do like about Rochester. I know you guys are beyond Rochester, but all the local organizations that go on here, they're all in support of one another.
Yeah.
Do you guys work with any other organizations? I'm sure you do.
We don't necessarily work along with them. I guess we work in tandem with other state and local agencies, like CACs and stuff like that. We rely on them a lot. You know, an abused child and their families are going to go to a CAC, and we hope that if whoever they're working with there sees that we can help that child and that family, that they'll pass on our information, and hopefully we'll hear from that family and be able to help that child.
Nice.
So other than financial donations, is there other types of donations that you guys accept for the families, be it clothing or toys or sort of anything like that?
We try not to be about the presents. We try to be about the presents.
Gotcha.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We've had people, we've had families say, hey, my dishwasher's broken. You guys come fix it. No, we're not there for parents.
Right.
We're there
We're there for the kids.
Strictly for the kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different organizations out there that do a great job for that kind of stuff.
Right.
For the toys and for clothes and for all that. And the agencies, CACs, they have a full list of different agencies to help the families out with that stuff.
That's cool.
If anybody called, and was like, Tiger, our child liaison, he tries to give out as many resources as he can to the families to help.
Cool. And say someone did call, but it was, would they be able to help sort of maybe guide them in a different direction? Like if what they were calling for wasn't exactly what you guys are set up for, would they, sort of have some information and sort of lead them in the right direction?
Tiger has a full list of different agencies and organizations to help out for different things if it doesn't fit our criteria.
Right.
Because we have to be very careful with our
for sure.
criteria.
Yeah.
He's got a full list of everything
Cool.
to help people out, and he will spend time talking with them. He will email them stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I just, I'd hate for, someone to wonder like, oh, is this something that I should call them about? But I'm sure that they're very accepting of, any call that comes in relation to any of this.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, exactly doesn't fit the criteria that you guys have. Definitely appreciate the support.
Yeah, if you call the
anyway,
helpline, you will most likely get a voicemail, and he will guarantee to call you back within 24 hours.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, do either one of you have like most memorable moment so far, or is it pretty much all of them are memorable? No, but is there one that sticks out more than the rest?
Or even if it's a funny moment or just something that
mine's
something that comes to your
longer.
mind when you think of all the kids that you've worked with. Is there a single memory that pops into your head like first?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody's got that one kid. I mean, we don't get attached. We say we don't get attached and all that, but certain kids.
It's hard. It's got to be hard not to.
My first kid wouldn't come off my table during the initial, very shy, and through the whole process, and we go to court with him. We do all that, and the B.A.C.A blanket we didn't show. But I got a call from mom saying that the child just went down to the town park and was wearing her B.A.C.A blanket. The B.A.C.A blanket says B.A.C.A all over.
Yeah.
Bikers Against Child Abuse. At that point, she's a survivor.
Oh,
She's
right.
not the victim anymore.
Yeah.
She's not afraid about what happened to her. She's wearing that blanket out in public. And, mom was in tears telling me that story.
Yeah.
Because that was such a big step.
Oh, yeah.
And, it was huge. And the child's doing great. Probably third, fourth year in college now.
Sweet.
Yes. It's, moments like that hit you. Everybody's got them.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a child that we actually didn't even meet them until their first day of court. So they were very quiet and nervous, and the next thing you know, we're kind of trashing the conference room that they stuck us in the court. There was a couple mistrials, but they finally made it through it, and they were very nervous about getting up to give their impact statement when sentencing came around. And I said, well, you know, a lot of times that impact statement will have an effect on how long the sentence
Carries a lot of weight.
Because
Oh,
they were very curious about that, and they got up and read their impact statement, and the judge pretty much quoted the whole impact statement as they handed down a very hefty sentence, especially for New York.
Yeah.
Very hefty sentence. So they were on top of the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
And that child
So-
rode to court in the rain.
Yeah.
On the bike?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You couldn't get this kid off the bike. especially if you mentioned McDonald's. You know.
Anywhere to eat. Right?
Leaving court, you know, everyone go to McDonald's.
And I can
Where
imagine,
we are now.
and I can imagine, like, some of these kids have never been on a motorcycle, you know, and
Oh,
then they
for sure.
finally get that ride, and they're like, "Oh, this is probably the coolest thing that you know what's going."
They start out hanging on real tight. And then by the time they get done, we work with the hand signals and stuff, tell them what they are. And the hand signals are doing this because they want to go around twice.
Yeah.
You know, they're loving it. Like the epic one, that was
Yeah.
that was a great one.
And we had another one, you know, real nervous to take the ride and hanging on tight, and I mean, probably weren't 100 feet down the road. And their arms were up for the rest of the ride, and that was a long ride too, because we were kind of out in the country, and yeah, they had their hands up for probably about 15 minutes straight while we did their ride. So
That's so cool.
That's
it's a
awesome.
lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Well, you guys do a fantastic thing for the community, other communities. What you guys do is great. Thank you for coming on the show. It's
Yeah,
just been great.
I can't say enough. You know,
Yeah.
my admiration for you guys and for what you guys do is beyond measure. So I keep trying. You know, and definitely keep doing what you're doing, man. Because you know, like I said, as a dad, knowing that other kids that aren't as fortunate as others, or that have gone through, you know, some really terrible stuff, knowing that you guys are there when they need them, however they need them, I just,
Yeah.
you know, that like helps me sleep better. You know what I mean? Like, because I lay awake at night thinking just of terrible, awful things because my mind spirals like that. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of comfort in knowing that, you know, your organization is out there doing things to make life better for kids.
Yeah.
You know, I love that.
It's great.
I really do. But anyways, guys, we will have all of B.A.C.A's information in the description down below. Be sure to check them out. If you know someone in need, please let them reach out to the hotline, which we will also have down below.
Yep.
And if you want to see more from these guys, from us, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, iHeartRadio,
Everywhere.
Apple Podcasts. We are everywhere that you like to go. And we're probably some places that you don't like to go to, so you might just stumble upon us anyways. But anyways, guys, from us to you, until next time, cheers.